Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an entertaining story titled, I overheard my girlfriend making fun of me pretty brutally to her best friend, and when I say brutally, I mean brutally. And guys, this story is all about a guy. He is 33 years old, his girlfriend's 28. And long story short, they've been together for a couple years, thought things were really good, and then one day, he came home early to surprise her. How many times have you heard stories like this? And overheard her having a conversation on the phone with her friend, a guy friend. Major red flag there, of course. Making fun of him about the size of his you-know-what. Really bad. Even though this guy claims, look, I'm not huge, but I'm average, but she was still brutally making fun of him and all that. And he realized just then how much of an a-hole she is, and many other red flags that he kind of overlooked, or definitely overlooked, really came to the surface. And let me tell you, when he eventually handles it the way he handles it, in terms of kicking her ass to the curb, she goes freaking crazy. And I mean a whole lot of crazy here. And that'll be a good one to go over here, aside from the entertainment value of this. Why it's so important, as I say, don't rush into relationships. Don't bombard your girl with gifts and presents and letting her move in too quickly, and let her go without paying any rent and all these things without her really earning it. And you have to take a long time to get to know your girl. And if you don't, it can really blow up in your face. Because some of these gals may be seemingly normal, and then something sets them off, and oh my God, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Bitch. And let me tell you, you get a whole lot of Ms. B here. So this is a longer one, as you can see by the length of the video, so I'm going to jump right into this because it's quite long. He says, my girlfriend Jenna and I have been together for 2 years or a little over. I'm a veterinarian and we met at my office. She just moved to the city and brought her dog in for an ear infection. We started talking, and what should have been a 15-minute appointment turned into an hour-long talking session. I've never been so smitten with a woman before. Smack! Dude, it's one chick. You're a veterinarian now. You're a doctor. You're an animal doctor, but you're a doctor. You now have a lot more choices with women. Don't get so smitten over the first girl that gives you a lot of attention. Before Jenna, I lived a bachelor lifestyle. I was beginning to think that I'd just stay single forever, even though that lifestyle of nothing but casual flings was growing really old and empty. Jenna is a charismatic woman with lots of friends. Her best friend is a guy, Dylan, as she knew in her old town. I trust Jenna, but I'd be bold-faced lying if I said that her relationship with him doesn't bother me at all. Smack! Should have smacked him 10 seconds ago. Guys, I know you know this, but I get newcomers every day. You cannot have a girlfriend with a male best friend they talk to, text with, hang out. Oh, no. No. Think she'd want to be with you if you had a female best friend that was her competition? Bad idea. Or any male friends that she texts to, hangs out with. It's a bad idea. You all know why. And guess what? You're going to find out why. I don't get angry with her or fight with her about it. She's reassured me that they've been friends for their whole lives, and I've never had any S-word relationship. Wherever you heard that one before. I'm secure and I'm not insane, so I accept that they are friends, and I've tried to buddy up with him as well. You're going to hang out with her buddy? No. He has visited the city 3 times. He's a cool guy. However, he does not seem to like me very much. Jenna says he's just being protective. It comes off a whole lot more like jealousy than protectiveness, in my opinion. Imagine that. Jenna just finished up graduate school this spring, but she's had a really tough time finding a job. And guess what happens in her very difficult journey to find a job? Guess who takes care of her? We lived together for a year, and I've been understanding that she can't help pay the rent, etc. right now. I'm very financially secure, so it's not an issue. Smack! You moved her in after a year. That is way too soon. Some people disagree with me. That's your business. But the only reason you move in a chick or have her move in is you're going to marry her. And even 1 year is not enough time. And also, she's not paying any of the bills. Bullshit. Not a good idea, dude. You're only set too much too soon. You're giving her an easy ride. And, well, watch this. However, I'm careful not to become a reason for her not to get a job and have her own financial independence. I just think it's important for everyone to have this sort of independence. So without being pushy, I let her know that she does need to start paying half of the expenses once she secures a job. Well, at least you did that. Anyway, she texted me at work on Monday to tell me she got a job. It's a job she really, really wanted and had to go through some pretty grueling interviews to get. I was so happy and proud of her that I decided to leave the rest of the day at the office up to my staff and took off early without telling Jenna. I bought her favorite booze, grabbed a bunch of Chinese takeout, her favorite, and bought her flowers. Okay, dude, let's not get carried away here. Chinese food, no problem. But the flowers, it's nice guy shit. That is special, real special occasions. Birthday, Valentine's Day. You don't make a habit of it. I bought her a nice necklace that she'd been seen in a store a couple weeks ago. See what I'm talking about? Nothing super extravagant, but it has a shark on it, and that the woman is just obsessed with anything to do with sharks. Oh, how interesting. It's hidden in the basement, and I figured I'd give it to her soon. Totally surprise her, and once she'd forgotten about everything, seeing it in the store. I got home and came in the side entrance to the basement so I could grab the necklace and then surprise her. Well, he's going to be in for a surprise. When I came up to the basement steps and opened the door, I could hear her talking on the phone. Normally, I wouldn't stop and listen, but I heard her laughing uncontrollably, like belly laughing. It was pretty cute, so I figured I'd wait for her to get off the phone before I surprise her. She was talking to Dylan. Shocker. Nothing new there. They talk at least once a week. Then I heard what they were laughing about. It took me a few dull minutes to realize that she was laughing about our sex life. She says something about how, no, he can't even compare to my ex-boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend had at least 3 inches on him. I feel bad every time I eat a baby carrot around him because it must be traumatic to see me chomping down on something the same size as him. She's comparing his package to a baby carrot. Good freaking Lord. And to another dude. She also said it would be almost cute if it didn't suck so much. His body is amazing as long as he keeps his boxers on. Lots of laughter. He says, so look, I don't really give a crap what people on Reddit think about the size of my member, but I do think it's important to say that what she's making fun of wasn't even true, which in my opinion makes it even more hurtful. I mean, I don't know about the ex-boyfriend, maybe he was a horse, but I'm very average, just good old-fashioned average. No guy's going to admit he is a small you-know-what, but I actually believe this guy. I think she's just being an a-hole. Not going to upsell myself here, it's nothing to write home about, but it's also not laughable. I never felt self-conscious, it is what it is. To hear her ripping me apart to this guy that she knows I have some concern about was just being hurtful. Hurtful doesn't cover it. So let's review. 2 years he's been dating her. Thought she was the most amazing, charismatic, beautiful woman ever, blah, blah, blah. Moves her in after 1 year. She hasn't had to pay any kind of rent or expenses for a year. And there she is, tearing him a new one, making fun of him in the worst possible way on the phone with her male best friend. Now this guy, I think he's a good guy. And I'm sure he's intelligent to become a veterinarian. But he's obviously clueless when it comes to women. Clueless in terms of reality. If he had watched my channel or the channels like it, there'd be no male best friend with a girlfriend. There'd be no buying her all the shit all the time, moving her after 1 year, etc., etc. However, he does handle this right. He says here, she also made fun of me for being gorgeous but not super smart. He says, I'm actually highly educated. This is even remotely a concern of mine. I know I'm smart, gorgeous, and super smart with an average size. You know what? Thank you very much. I think he's joking around, guys. I left after that. Did I throw the flowers out of the car window? Yes. Did I cry in the parking lot? Yes. I think she may have heard the basement door close. Maybe she even saw my car driving away because she started texting me pretty quickly after I left, asking me when I was coming home. That was Monday, and I haven't brought it up. I don't know how. I still think I'm processing everything. It's horribly embarrassing and hurtful. But damn, I love this girl. Not saying I'm going to forgive her necessarily, but I just want to stress how hard this whole thing is for me. Dude, I get it. 2 years of your life, that's a big chunk. You really thought she was the one. He didn't say that, but I can figure that out. But no. And this is what happens when you're too giving, too good, and you don't screen these girls properly. And of course, doesn't take a genius to know no girls with male best friends or any male friends they hang out with. I need to know how to bring it up to her. Dude, how do you bring it up to her? You can walk right in and confront her. But how? Any suggestions on how to start this conversation with her? I'm extremely hurt and I don't know if I can even forgive her for this. Bro, she's an asshole. Get rid of her. Her true colors have been shown. As an edit, he says, wow, hey, thanks, everyone. I just want to add that I definitely will be breaking up with Jenna. Good, brother. It's about time. I grabbed a beer with 3 of my buddies tonight and told them their sentiments match the majority of yours. Dump her and do it quick. I called my mom and told her about it. Yes, I told her everything, as embarrassing as it was. We were pretty close. I wanted to tell her the whole story. You told your mom that you overheard your girl telling her male BFF about the size of you-know-what, making fun of it and saying it's like a carrot. Did he really go and say, but Mom, you must understand. I'm average, I swear. And she's like, that's okay, dear. I saw you as a baby. Come on, maybe he's a mama's boy. I don't know. And I never heard her so angry about anything. She knew I'd bought a ring for Jenna. I will post an update after I do it, probably tomorrow, though it may take me a couple days to post about it. I'm going to be pretty wrecked emotionally. Thanks again for all the comments and messages of support and encouragement. I really didn't expect everyone to be rooting for me like this. Post a story like this on Reddit, you're going to get a lot of people rooting for you. Of course, there's also a lot of wackos out there. Now we're on to the good stuff, or the really good stuff, the update, as to when he breaks up with her and how she takes it. And let me tell you, like I said, crazy. Says here, well, supportive Reddit strangers, I stayed strong and broke up with Jenna Thursday evening. This was honestly been the most dramatic couple days of my entire life. That's one way of putting it. I'm exhausted. Things got pretty ugly on her part. Sorry that this is so long. A lot has happened. At the suggestion of my friends, mother, brother, and many of you, I talked to her in a private but still public place. The thought behind that was somehow that someone who can be so cruel and reveal herself as a liar is potentially capable of trying to turn things around on me and say that she left me because I hurt her or some other nonsense. I like to think she wouldn't do something like that, but who knows? Especially after everything that has happened, better safe than sorry. Thank God he listened to people and met her in a public place. I thought about just boxing up her stuff and breaking things off with no explanation. But it's been over 2 years together. I decided the best thing to do was to confront her calmly and then hear her out. If she had no explanation, I wanted to hear it, even if it didn't change my decision to break up with her. So I took her to a wine bar in the downtown that has those little individual booths with half curtains. I wouldn't have gone that far. I would have met her in the parking lot, got out of the car, and then in the parking lot. She's been sugary sweet since Monday, which tells me she either A, felt guilty about what a jerk she was, B, thought I might have hurt her, or C, she just knew I'd been acting distant and was totally clueless as to why. So she dressed up really nice, and despite everything that happened, I can admit that she looked stunning. She did that on purpose, dude. She knew she roped you in originally with her beauty, now she's doing it again. She knows something's up. She was also very affectionate and kept making a lot of sexy comments about all the things she wanted to do to me later. Yeah, with your, baby carrot size package. Normally, my precious little baby carrot would have been thrilled by this, but given the circumstances, it was difficult to hear and act normal. I had rehearsed what I was going to say to her over and over, so as soon as we sat down and got our wine, I started. I can't remember word for word. My adrenaline was kicked in pretty high gear, so it feels fuzzy. I basically started by saying how much I loved her and how she's the only woman I ever felt connected so profoundly that I opened myself up completely and trusted her. Good Lord. I hope after all this he's learned something. I told her that she's the only woman, blah, 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 that I even thought about marrying her, and that I got a ring that I've gone ring shopping for. He said I left that part out, how much I already bought the ring, and that I've actually imagined having children with her in the next few years. She kept interrupting me to saying, "Aw," or to tell me how much she loves me too. Oh my God. Remember he said her favorite animal is a shark? If he said snake, that really would have been perfect. Then I looked at her in the eye and asked her point blank if she loved me so much, so horrendously made fun of me to Dylan. I have to say the look on her face was a bit satisfying. As expected, she denied it first and acted like she had no idea what I was talking about. Of course, that's what they do. She said Dylan knows how much she loves me and that she never made fun of me to him. I kind of just looked at her and said something like, "Come on, Jenna." But she still denied even after I told her I'd come home early on Monday and had heard her at all. It was pretty frustrating, but I kept my cool. I just told her that she and I both know she's lying and that the things that she said were unforgivable, and I couldn't wrap my mind around why she would say the things like that to anyone, let alone Dylan, especially because she was lying just to be able to rag on me. He heard the whole thing. You heard it in his description, and still she's denying the whole thing. Still denied and acted like I was crazy. She said she loves me so much, and she's not dissatisfied with our sex life at all. It would never say or complain about my size. And she knows how smart and sweet I am, and that's why she loves me. Smart and sweet. Smart and sweet that let me move in and live rent-free for a year, who buys me things all the time. Yeah, she's got a great deal. If I hadn't heard what she said to Dylan myself, I would have believed her. She deserves an Oscar for that performance. Hey, he's taking my line. Some commenters asked if I was sure she was talking about me when I overheard her. When she was talking about her ex-boyfriend and his kraken of a sausage, she said my name when she was making the comparison. I'm definitely sure that she was talking about me, and she was lying to my face about it. I told her I would drive us home and she could grab the essentials she needed and her dog. My brother and his girlfriend would be at the house too. I wanted to make sure there were other people there just to have witnesses that I let her get her stuff and didn't do anything aggressive or destructive. I told her I'd pack up the rest of her stuff and leave it for her to get whenever she could. Here we go. She was in total disbelief that I was actually breaking up with her. This is probably the first time this has ever happened to her in her entire life. She pleaded with me, but my mind was made up, and I wasn't budging. It was hard not to cry in front of her, though, when she kept saying how much she wanted to be with me forever, and that she planned to be the mother of my children someday. Well, of course, because it'd be a great deal for her financially. I own my own house, and since Jenna hasn't helped with any expenses by paying any rent or utilities, I wasn't too concerned about putting it bluntly, kicking her out. She kept asking me what she was supposed to do and where was she supposed to sleep. I'm sure she has no problem. She's got a bunch of friends. She's got a job now. She'll be fine. I told her it really wasn't my problem anymore and that she has plenty of friends she can stay with until she gets her own place. Basically, all the furniture and decor is mine. She just has clothes, toiletries, etc. to get out. All the redecorating she did in my house was done on a dime, or done on my dime. Then came the waterworks. She started crying and saying that she didn't understand how I could do this to her. She said she thought I was a nice guy about 1,000,000 times. Well, that doesn't surprise me because she treats him like he's a nice guy. And I guarantee you, she doesn't do the stuff in bed with him with his carrot-sized you-know-what like she does with her ex. Or probably her BFF Dylan. I told her I am a nice guy, which is why I just don't throw her stuff on the front lawn, change the locks, and give no explanation. Then I swear to you, the woman dug the knife in even deeper. She said she didn't know why she said the things to Dylan. She finally acknowledged it. And that maybe it's because Dylan brings out the best in her, and she's able to laugh about things that would normally make her cry. I guess like my you-know-what. So after all that, then she finally admitted that she said that. You heard all that I didn't do that, and the tears and the bullshit. And then she finally, when she realized she's lost this battle, he's done, he's kicking her out, that's when the claws came out, and she admits that she did say that. Now, we all knew all along she was lying, but still. I told her that's really sad to me if that's what I heard her say at her best. It was petty, and usually I'm above making snide comments, but I told her that she can go back to her hometown and go live with Dylan or her 9-inch sausage ex-boyfriend. It was amazing to watch how fast those tears disappeared. Yes, I have seen women make tears like that. It's unbelievable. They learn from a young age. And then they can disappear like that too. Apparently, I'm the a-hole. I don't know how to treat women. I'm a loser. My you-know-what is tiny. I'm going to be alone forever. She never really loved me, and I was more like a friend, but she didn't want to hurt me, so she stayed with me. Makes a lot of sense. She would have said no if I proposed. Again, I'm a loser, and I'm an a-hole. And in case I didn't get it the first time, she meant it when she said my you-know-what was a baby carrot. Oh, and I will die alone. We're just getting started with the crazy, guys. Oh, this is just the beginning. I told her dying alone is preferred to dying married to a woman who's cruel and doesn't love or respect me. No joke, she started to scream. Not words, just a long, extremely loud scream. Mind you, they're in a wine bar, a bar or a restaurant or some goddamn place. I think he said wine bar, but you can get wine in a bar. Screaming like a banshee. It was alarming, and then she just booked it out of there after calling me a disgusting pig. After paying the bill and apologizing to the waiter about the drama, I left and Jenna was standing outside crying. And there's probably guys like watching her want to walk up and say, "What's wrong, sweetheart? What can I do for you?" I know what she did was horrible, and all the things she did just a few minutes earlier were horrible. But I still didn't like seeing her like that and didn't want to just leave her on the sidewalk. Smack! Bro, come on. Really? We're starting to cheer you on here and you pull this shit. That's nice guy shit. She doesn't deserve it. She's going to just see that as weakness and pull more shit. I still don't like seeing her out like that on the sidewalk, blah, blah, blah. I'm in New England and it's pretty cold here. So I told her to let me give her a ride back to the house so she could get her stuff and that she needed to leave and go stay somewhere else as soon as she packed a bag. Oh, for God's sakes. She can get an Uber or a taxi or a Lyft, and I'm in New England too, and I would have left her ass there on the sidewalk. She agreed and we didn't talk at all in the car. Now she can say you may have done something to her in the car. Talk about an awkward ride. My brother and his wife were at the house when we got there. His wife stayed inside when Jenna got her stuff together and my brother waited outside with me. That went by pretty uneventfully and she had a girlfriend come pick her up. I got my key back from her before she left. She texted me throughout the night and the text ranged from sorry to sad to angry to really angry and back again. She offered freaking meds. I didn't answer any of them and only texted her yesterday morning to tell her that her stuff was on the porch and she should come pick it up while I'm at work. So you're going to have her come to your house while you're at work. And remember, she used to have a key to this place. What could go wrong? I didn't hear from her all day until it was almost time for me to go home. Pretty nasty texts wishing me about every ill thing you can imagine and wish a person, and I didn't answer. Well, I came home to a disaster zone. She smashed everything. I don't know if she had made a separate key at some point that I was unaware of, or she knows how to pick locks, but she got into the house somehow and she destroyed it. She smashed stuff that's irreplaceable. She ripped up the furniture, she clogged 2 of the sinks, and left the water running. She left my refrigerator open and threw the food all over the kitchen. It was wrecked. The only considerate thing she did for me was lock my 2 dogs up in a bedroom. I guess she didn't want them to cut themselves on glass or eat the food. Okay, at least she didn't do anything to the dogs. Okay, thank God for that. But holy fucking shit. Tore up furniture, food everywhere, smashed stuff. Good Lord, we're just getting started. I have 2 vehicles. One for everyday use and then an SUV for work. I use the SUV for when I make house calls and may have to bring a large or exotic animal into the vehicle to transport it to the clinic. In the middle of all the drama, I've forgotten I'd given her a key to the SUV in case she ever had an emergency and needed to drive somewhere. I went out to check the car and she trashed the inside of it too. She dumped flour all over the inside in addition to tomato soup. This chick is crazy. This is why, gentlemen, you spend years getting to know your girl and you don't move them in so quickly, amongst other things. The stuff is just stuff, I suppose. It's more the fact that she could do something so childish and awful on top of everything else. It blows my mind. Last weekend I took her to a play, went out with her and her friends, we played Monopoly one night, and made up our own drinking game with it. We hung out and watched Netflix, made love several times. And this weekend my house and vehicles are destroyed and so am I. Amazing how fast things can change. Not my finest moment, but I was so pissed off that I got right onto Costco's instant delivery and ordered 20 5-pound bags of baby carrots and had them shipped to her friend's place addressed to Jenna. That's funny, but the problem is now that upon him filing a police report and trying to do something, now she can say he's harassing her. I mean, he has every right, but still. 100 pounds of baby carrots. They deliver within an hour. I got a slew of interesting and insulting texts from her that evening. Yes, it was petty, but the only regret I have about it is that it was a waste of food. Hopefully she donates them or cooks some of them or something. So that is it. I blocked her last night after the nasty text from her just kept coming in. I'm feeling pretty beaten down right now, and I've cried more than I've cried in a long time. It's obvious I have made the right choice. Jenna is clearly not emotionally stable or mature. She's really cruel, and I know I do deserve better. You do deserve better, bro. You were foolish with her on so many fronts, but you're a good guy. Now, in the future, I hope you learn your lesson, take your time, and do a better screening process. But I'll come back to that later. I spent a lot of time Monday thinking about myself as a partner and trying to figure out what I could have led to her obviously having some resentment or something for me. No, you're just too nice and too giving and accommodating and all that, and she's an asshole. I mean, this chick is fucking mental. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I work a lot. I try to still make time for the people I love and try not to bring work home with me. When I have a bad day, but sometimes I do, I know this. Jen and I have thought about it before, and I really tried to pace my days in a certain way that I can get home at a reasonable time, and I try to leave bad days at work as much as I can. Dude, do not even think to try to make excuses for her or say, what could I have done wrong? You're a veterinarian. Great for you. I'm an animal lover, and I think that's awesome. We need more great veterinarians out there. Mine are awesome. And if you had to work long hours, guess what? She obviously should know what she's gotten herself into, and she was living there for free. And you taking care of everything, you know? She's got no reason to bitch and complain. I get it's easier to say, what could I have done wrong, instead of me, why could I have been so foolish to fall for a girl that was nuts, or why didn't I see the red flags? It's not your fault. However, anyone who is a veterinarian who has worked with one knows we're always on call for emergencies. Sometimes we have patients that we have to check on or stay with throughout the night. Time off can be challenging. It's doable, but it's challenging. My staff is incredible and can handle most situations. But I still do get a lot of calls or texts from them when I'm on vacation or off for the day. I'm sure there have been times when Jenna just felt second best to my job. Well, I guess I know there have been. She's told me as much in the past. I did try to make changes, but there is only so much I can do. Don't jeopardize your career for some fucking chick, especially someone like this. As far as I can remember, I've never been purposely mean to Jenna. I've had bad days and been grumpy or absent. We've had our share of disagreements and fights, but nothing unhealthy or excessive. I really thought we had a solid relationship and that we were both happy. I know I was. You were fooled, sir, but she obviously did a good job, and I'm sure her beauty definitely, took your sensors off. It's not hard to question myself and wonder if I really am a letdown or if I neglected her to the point that she felt unloved enough to act the way she did. No, she acted the way she did because she's a fucking asshole, because she's mental. She was making fun of you in the most rude possible way. Again, to her male friend, who I question if she hasn't hooked up with once or twice or 100 times before. That's awful. And then she pulled this shit. Believe me, breakups happen all the time, and they don't do this crap. I don't know, but I do know that no matter what, the way she put me down and the way she reacted to breaking up was way out of line. I don't deserve that, and that it's on her. Amen. So thank you for rooting for me, Reddit. It's been great to read all the nice words and advice. Time for me and my baby carrot to eventually find a woman who appreciates us for what we are. And he also says, I did file a police report and took pictures, which will hopefully help with recouping some of the money lost through the insurance. As far as the police report, it's very doubtful anything will come of it since I can't prove it was her. Same goes for trying to sue her in small claims court. And honestly, I'd rather not deal with her anymore. I'm going to hope that insurance will cover the damages and just move on with my life. Well, I would hope that he can somehow get her in trouble. She certainly deserves it, but he has a point about the whole proving thing. But I'm sure with all the text, with her saying all the nasty stuff and everything, that could definitely have him say, where were you at this time? Or asking neighbors if they saw anything. I don't know. Somebody had to have seen something or heard something, but who the fuck knows? Or he may say, you know what? I just don't want to deal with her anymore, but there's no way it's over. He's going to hear from her again. I guarantee you that. And she'll cry and say I was just in a bad place or this was going on and try to, because remember, when women have a perception of a guy being a nice guy, even if the guy kicks her to the curb and shocks her, she'll still think he's the same nice guy deep down and try down the road when he's cooled off and try to get back into his good graces. There's no way it's over, but I hope he learns his lesson. So what can we learn from this story, aside from that bitches be crazy? Don't rush into relationships. Take your time to get to know the girl. Don't let her move in unless you're seriously thinking about marrying her, and that's like the final test. Why you need to spend a long time with girls to see what they're like. And it certainly doesn't help to do some snooping behind the scenes to see what she's saying to her friends about you, her family about you. You got to have, and if you get serious, some PI work. The stories I've been doing lately have been proving that almost a PI is necessary nowadays to find out what she really is like. What is she hiding, amongst many other things? It's unfortunate, but that is the reality that we live in. So I wish this guy the best, and hopefully that people can learn from his mistakes. All right, guys, that was it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this story here. Guys, you find a good story like me to share or cover, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will if it definitely works. And this goes for here on the SSM channel, or They Did What, or the SSM Clips. I'll take anything, as well as good articles or personal stories. Personal stories, that's the main thing of this channel, but I do stories on occasion like this. Send me your personal stories, things that you have overcome, things that you're going through, and I can definitely help you out. Ever sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.